Now then, let's take a close look at the Kappa Vest. I'm wearing a Kappa jacket of course today because it's absolutely perfect for these conditions. It really is a wet day. We've got low cloud, there's a lot of moisture in the cloud, it's sort of raining a bit and everything's getting damp. And that is exactly what these synthetic jackets is good for. Insulation where there's potential for getting wet through real damp and cold conditions. Of course you can really suffer in those conditions. And a synthetic jacket is well worth considering in these typically wet mountaineering type conditions. The vest is a lightweight version of the jacket. It's straightforward actually. The clever part about a vest is that it insulates the core body temperature. This is where we're really insulating the upper body and the head as well. So if you have the optional hood, it really does offer a lot of insulation potential to the head as well. So the smart thing about a vest is that it really deals with the core body temperature, the most important point to insulate. And it does it so much lighter. And of course with all mountaineering gear and expedition gear, you're really looking for weight to warmth performance here, getting something that is as light as possible but as effective as possible. There's some design elements of the vest here that are specifically focused on insulation. How much warmth can we get for minimum weight? I'll run through it very quickly. The outer of the vest is made in waterproof Dri-LX. The inner of the vest is made in lightweight MX fabric, a super lightweight down-proof fabric. It's Primaloft proof of course, and it's a very lightweight and soft material, perfect for the inside of expedition clothing. It really allows the wadding to loft towards you. So the inside is Dri-LX. It's black of course, so if you want to dry it, if you want to use as much of solar heat you can use to dry a piece of kit, then turn it inside out and allow the black colour to absorb heat so much more quickly. I'll run through the features of it. Just the bottom of it, well, first of all, it's hip length. It comes down onto below the waist onto the top of the hips. We've got cord locks, 2 cord locks to cinch it in around the hips. We've got fleece, Primaloft around the collar, and then fleece line to really get a snug fit, and simple lycra around the armholes just to pull it in a little bit and stop cold air, reduce the amount of cold air getting in through there. We've got 4 pockets. We've got 2 on the front, fleece lined, and a chest pocket. The chest pocket is the most accessible pocket, so it's perfect for stashing mitts and a hat and snacks or a GPS or a map, something like that. It's quite a large pocket, it actually covers this area around here, so it's a large pocket, takes a lot of gear, but it's very accessible. If for instance you've got a climber's harness on, or the hip belt on your rucksack is blanking off these lower pockets, this one is always accessible. Then we've got another pocket on the inside of the vest. It's a security pocket. It's a small pocket suitable for keys or credit cards, something like that. And it's also got a key hook on the inside. I like these because, you know, you stash your car key on there and you know where it is all day long. It's not going to drop out or vanish or be knocked out by accident. Let's just talk about the wadding, because that's very important in this design. We've put on our lightest waterproof fabric on the outer, but it's the wadding that's very interesting. We've used Primaloft Gold, and Primaloft Gold is the top end of the Primaloft range, and it's got the most performance, it's got the best performance for repelling water. What I really like about that is not only is it a synthetic that deals well with water, but it actively repels water from coming into it. The danger with wadding is if it mops up water like a sponge, you start to lose insulation, because the water is replacing, it's filling all those little air spaces which will give you, where the air is held and giving you that insulation. If the water is allowed to soak into that wadding, you're losing airspace, and so you're reducing the insulation that you have. So Primaloft Gold is absolutely perfect for us here because it really actively prevents water getting onto it. It's very effective, I like it a lot. let's just talk about the weight of that Primaloft Gold. It's 133 gram. Now that's the weight per square metre, and it describes really how thick the wadding is. Primaloft comes in sort of lots of different weights, 40 gram, 60 gram, 80 gram, 100 gram and so on. This is 133 and it's used for a typical operating temperature of -10. So the Kappa jacket, the Kappa Vest, so the Kappa Vest is really ideal for substantially cold conditions and substantially troublesome conditions from high humidity and wetness. That's the real problem here, and the Kappa Vest is designed specifically for those conditions. The advantage of the vest is it's a lot lighter, so you're packing a much smaller piece of equipment in your rucksack for the day on the hill or whatever your expedition is. It's offering you a lot of effective insulation at a very low weight. There we go, that's a quick look at the Kappa Vest. One thing I forgot to mention was the reflect. We've put reflect on the front of the chest and reflect on the zip pulls. That's purely a safety feature. If someone was out looking for you at night, the torch, a beam of a torch or a head torch would pick you up very quickly with these little bits of reflect. So they're just a purely functional detail of this piece of equipment. There we are, that's a close look at the Kappa Vest. All right, cheers.